Welcome back, guys. This week, we will talk about the grammar structure of the simple past. The simple past is a verb tense that is used to talk about things that happened or existed before now. The simple past tense shows that you are talking about something that has already happened. A regular verb is one that conforms the usual rule of performing its simple past tense and its past participle. In English, the usual rule is to just add ed or d to the base form of the verb to create the past forms. An irregular verb is a verb that doesn't follow the regular inflection or ending to the word that's expected when putting it into the past tense of or the past participle. Remember, last week we were talking about verbs in past, and there are two huge groups. The regular verbs, that are the ones that end in ed, and the irregular verbs. And remember, we have group 1, group 2, and group 3. Now, let's see some examples. Regular verbs, ed, walked, played, danced. Irregular verbs, group 1, cut, cut, cut. Remember, just one form. Group 2, have, had, had. Group 3, go, went, gone. Now, the grammar structure. In English, grammar sentence structure is the arrangement of words, phrases, and clauses in a sentence. The grammatical function or meaning of a sentence is dependent on this structural organization, which is also called syntax or syntactic structure. In traditional grammar, the four basic types of sentence structures are the simple sentence, the compound sentence, the complex sentence, and the compound complex sentence. The most common word order in English sentence is subject, verb, object, SVO. When reading a sentence, we generally expect the first noun to be the subject and the second noun to be the object. Not always happen that. Now, let's take a look about the simple past affirmative form, the structure. We have a subject, we have a verb, and we have a complement. Like in this example, I visited my grandparents. Now, let's take a closer look. What is the subject? The subject is whoever does the action. The verb is the action being done. But what about the complement? The complement is the answer to a basic question or a WH question about the subject and the verb. Let's take a closer look in the complement. So if we said a question, what kind of question will be? Maybe what, where, when, who, how, why, and which. Now, let's make an exercise. Imagine that you went to Rome in last vacation. Using all the information provided before, make a story talking about those vacations. You have to use different verbs and complements. Here are some of the places you can talk about: the Colosseum and the Ark of Constantine, the Vatican City, the Pantheon, Roman Forum, Trevi Fountain, Vittorio Emanuele II, monument, Centro Storico and the Spanish Steps, Santa Maria Maggiore, Piazza Navona, Piazza del Popolo and Santa Maria del Popolo, Palatine Hill, Villa Borghese Gallery and Gardens, Castel San Angelo National Museum, Capitoline Museum, Baths of Caracalla, San Giovanni Laterano, the Catacombs and Via Appia Antica, Palazzo Doria Pamgili, Church of San Clemente, Term di Dioclesiano. Remember, you have to invent a story. You have to use the previous concept maps made on class that are the same as here. Remember, you have to write the subject, and maybe you use for the subject, you can use personal pronouns or nouns. And for the verbs, as we are talking in the simple past, you can talk about regular verbs and irregular verbs. And then in the complement, remember that in class, we made this concept map with vocabulary around each question words. For example, where, Rome, when, last June, with who, with my family, how, by plane, by train, why, because I want to know. Remember, you have a lot of vocabulary here. Make your story, write it on your notebooks, and I see you next week. Thank you guys for paying attention. This will be all for this week. Take care.